Good day, everyone. No matter where you're at in the day, make it a good day. All right, I want to come at you guys and just share a little bit of my personal history with gut health and my journey to heal my gut. So, as many of you know, I have had a history of emotional binge eating. I have had it as recent as the past year, where I have dealt with emotional binges, where I've eaten foods that are high in sugar, high in fat, high in carbs, large quantities of them, sometimes not even that though, sometimes even just foods that were high in fiber, like 12 combat protein bars. Anyway, you get the gist. I have had my own battle with it, dealing with up life and using it as a maladaptive coping mechanism, but no longer have I been doing that. I now have new coping mechanisms to deal with what I emotionally was not handling appropriately, and I'm taking myself to the next level. Well, I also have psoriasis. My psoriasis started about 4 years ago now with a small spot of scalp psoriasis that I noticed after a period of drinking alcohol, more alcohol than normal. I was kind of partying a little bit. I was on a path of worldliness and seeking external approval and not looking internal and not looking to God. So I was making decisions that were not the best decisions for me. This is true. It happens to all of us, right? And that's when my psoriasis really got kicking. I noticed the first spot on my scalp, some on my elbows at one point, and then one on my knee and on my toes. So I originally didn't do much with it besides get the steroid creams, the special shampoo, talk to a physician about it, all the normal things that Western medicine tells us to do. And so I did all those things and it improved some, but so did my lifestyle. My lifestyle started to improve, okay? Fast forward, I get pregnant, have a baby. Psoriasis is perfect because a lot of autoimmune diseases when you're pregnant go completely dormant because your body is now building a human, and these autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's, all the other things, right? Lupus, psoriasis, anything that's autoimmune where your body's attacking itself, they kind of go chill for a little while. So it went chill, and I had no flare-ups, no problems at all with my psoriasis. Then I have Vivi, I'm breastfeeding. Psoriasis is still okay, not so bad. As soon as I start, my milk supply stop pumping. I did it for about 6 months, creating supply for 13 months of her life. I had a lot of production. And so after about six and a half months, when I stopped, it started coming back, right? But my diet was also not the best then. Not gonna lie, during my pumping times, I was losing weight, I was working out, and I had worked on my entire pregnancy. So the weight kind of fell off me, my abs came completely back, all I had was my chest left to lose. I was almost down to my pre-pregnancy weight within like a month and a half, and here we are, eating foods that were not necessarily the foods I should be eating to get to that weight, but my body was doing it because my metabolism was super high. I had muscle on me, I was doing all the things, and I was producing milk, which burns about an extra 900 calories a day. So you can understand why my psoriasis started kicking, right? I'm eating a higher sugar diet. So sugar is one of the most highly inflammatory foods, sugar and gluten, right? I'm eating gluten, sugar, and dairy, like nobody's business. I'm having dark chocolate chips. I'm having cheese on every single meal. I'm having gluten all the time, chips and wraps and you name it. They were whole grain, they're this and that, which have been fine for me. Throughout my entire life, I have never had issues with gluten, dairy, or soy. Nothing, okay? At least that I knew of, all right? So fast forward to last February, when I started learning more about gut health and about the relationship between inflammation, systemic inflammation, and gut permeability, called leaky gut. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure I got leaky gut because I was getting acne with certain foods, starting to get more bloating, starting to get some really foul smelling gas with different types of foods, cashews, for a particular thing. But at the moment in time, I wasn't really pinpointing what exactly it was because it was like just kind of all the time. I always just kind of got bloated after food. I always had this stomach discomfort. I'd start off with abs in the morning. By the end of the day, I'd have a belly, right? So I started thinking about my gut and my gut health, and my psoriasis was kicking. I had facial acne, especially around your mouth, which is one of the main signs that you have it, and back acne, that you have some kind of allergy, right? So I decided to do a ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting to heal my gut, okay? So I did that, and I cut out a lot of things, but I did not cut out dairy at that time. I did relatively okay with it. I was able to maintain the fast. I was able to get into ketosis. I was able to do all of that, but I actually felt really good for a little bit of time on it. Mind was good, clear, like they say. I went through the keto flu, got past it, got through it, got my mind in the right place. But then after being on it for too long, I gained some weight. I felt yucky again. My body wasn't liking it. So I got rid of that, adapted more of an autoimmune protocol diet, but never cut out eggs, ever, and because I was almost unwilling to do so, and I didn't cut out nuts either. So it wasn't truly autoimmune, but it was close. My gut got better, my psoriasis got better, at least I thought, right? My distension went better, all those things. So now fast forward again, right? So then we go through the holidays, we go through all these different times, periods of stress and all the things, and now we come to January. I end up getting a upper respiratory infection that turns into a pneumonia. Started on some oral antibiotics, right, to treat it, which I was super against because I hate antibiotics. I know they're so bad for your gut. Did it reluctantly, and shortly thereafter, my psoriasis started getting worse. Now, mind you, at this point, since September, I've been gluten-free and dairy-free. I was still having nuts, nut milks mostly, not that many nuts, but some cashews here and there, even though I just said that they do come with some cas. It's one of my favorite things, so I was trying to keep it out. So, started antibiotics, and my psoriasis started kicking like crazy. Went through one course of antibiotics, and was able to kind of deal with it without, like, my psoriasis got better after the antibiotics went away, and no problems. Well, come back around to 2 weeks ago. I have been coughing nonstop at night. Like, I go lay flat on my bed, and all of a sudden I'm just producing lots of mucus. End up having another pneumonia. So what am I doing? Starting antibiotics again. Why am I getting so many pneumonias? My gut is still not healed. My gut is a mess, right? So I felt super inflamed. I started antibiotics, and what happened after I started antibiotics? I started eating foods that I was eating prior to this, and I was eating significant amounts of these. Onions, garlic, all the things, because onions and garlic are both natural antibiotics, and so eating those will help decrease the decrease the bacterial load in my body and hopefully cure my pneumonia is what I thought beforehand. So here I am eating all of them. All of them are high fermenting foods. They don't break down in our gut, they break down in our small intestine. So they're superly high. They're called FODMAPs foods, and they're foods that ferment in the small intestine, okay? Meaning they produce more bacteria when they do so. So what happened then? I'm eating all these foods that were fermenting in my small intestine, causing more bacteria to grow in my small intestine. Okay, then I started antibiotics, causing my gut to leak a little bit and more bacteria to grow into my small intestine, more undigested food particles to get out into my bloodstream and into my brain, and I feel yucky, miserable. I get some acne, my psoriasis, I get a spot on my lip that I've never had before. So that was when I was like, oh my God, I gotta do something about this. This is ridiculous, I need to figure this out. So with some further research, I realized that I have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which is a growth of extra bacteria in the small intestine. You think bacteria is good because we all talk about probiotics and taking them, but too much is not a good thing, especially in the small intestine, because they constantly recreate and grow and cause this gut wall permeability and all the leakage and stuff, and really major leaky gut. So here I am on this journey to heal my gut for real. So I'm a fitness competitor, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a mom, I'm a real person, I'm a nurse, and I am dealing with the same things that a lot of you guys are. As SIBO has symptoms that are a lot of times ignored, gas, bloating, any IBS type symptom, you got headaches, you got depression and anxiety, you got acne, the list goes on and on. Look it up, you'll find it, but there's a lot of symptoms in there that you may be having that you don't really realize, constipation, diarrhea, like I said, IBS things. So here we are Now, I originally decided, so I looked into it, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I'm currently taking a slew of supplements that I've added in to try to heal my gut, because the first phase is about starving out the bad bacteria, right? Healing the gut wall a little bit. Then stage 2, we're gonna reintroduce good bacteria, continue to heal the gut wall, and then reintroduce food. So I am on a low to no FODMAPs diet, right? I'm eating very minimal things. I originally was gonna keep eggs in my diet because I absolutely love eggs and I get them from a fresh farm. And I was like, okay, they're clean eggs, but the egg white itself can cause inflammation. So I'm like, okay, well, let's see. So I cut out nuts, gluten, dairy, soy, all sugar, all grains completely. And I was keeping seeds and eggs. And those were the only 2 things. And I got rid of nightshades, because they're peppers and tomatoes and everything that I normally ate. I got rid of them. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep nuts and I'm going to keep my seeds and eggs because I really love those things and I really don't want to. So I did. And after cutting out everything else and then having eggs one day, 30 minutes after having eggs, I started getting itchy around my nose and around my mouth. Really big sign that you're having an allergic reaction to something, guys, is itchiness on your face, facial itchiness or body itchiness. So what happens then? I decide, okay, I gotta get rid of them. So I cut out the eggs completely, no more eggs. So I'm currently eating basically meats, clean grass-fed meats. I'm eating fish, shrimp, avocado, which can be questionable for some people, it doesn't seem to bother me, and seeds. So I'm having pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds and then shakes, right? For my milk that I'm using a pea milk, and I don't seem to have any problems with that. But as you go through this process, this SIBO killing process, you go through what's called die-off symptoms. So you start these treatments, you eliminate things from your diet, you add different things in. So I'm adding in a bunch of herbal stuff, oregano oil, which is amazing. It's gonna kill off those bacteria, it's natural. I got essential oils going, I'm breathing them in, I'm injecting them, I'm putting them on my body. I've also added more supplements in, I've changed my probiotic type, and I will put a list of everything that I'm doing in my comments here. But anyway, so I've done all these things. So you go through, when you eliminate and you add things in, or anytime you make changes to doses and stuff, you can go through what's called die-off symptoms. And this can happen with yeast overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth. When it happens, you start to get worsening symptoms. So symptoms like bloating again, gas again, acne again, headaches, fatigue, irritability, anxiety, all those things, especially whatever is worse for you comes back. So you might think what you're doing is not right, but it actually is. So yesterday was one of those days that I had the worst headache in the world come the afternoon. Come 1 o'clock, my head was pounding. At 1 o'clock, I felt like it was 9 p.m. at night. I was so tired. I'm like, what is going on? I just had a great workout. I feel like mentally strong, but what is going on? I started getting gas again. I'm like, I haven't eaten anything different than I've eaten the last couple of days. So sure enough, I'm having my die-off symptoms coming. My psoriasis got a little bit better for the first couple of days, but it's kicking a little bit more right now. It's not horrible. My ear psoriasis is completely gone. I forgot to mention I have that part too. But that one's completely gone. Anyway, here I am on this journey to heal my gut. I'm going to share with you guys as I go throughout this process, because I'm going to be planning on doing this type of diet for a full month. Then I'm going to slowly introduce and I'm going to regrow the good bacteria. So I'll keep you guys posted on what I'm doing. I'll put a sample of what my supplements are and the food I'm eating, because I'm hoping to help somebody else on this journey too. There's multiple people out there who have issues. Actually, they say up to 50% of hypothyroidism, especially Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, which is the autoimmune type, that is actually caused from SIBO. So if you can cure the SIBO, you can get rid of the Hashimoto's, theoretically. And they do it. People do this. Naturopathic doctors do this all the time. So let's start curing our guts. Let's think about taking care of our gut health a little more. Think about where these symptoms are coming from. Stop ignoring them. Start living the life that you were meant to live, that God gave you to live, and take care of your body. When you think about it, a broad spectrum of time, out of my entire lifespan, a month of having a really, really restricted diet, and then adding things in for another 6 to 8 weeks and having more of a restricted, and then slowly progressing back into a normal diet, or relatively normal. I'm still gonna stay gluten and dairy free forever, because it's just not, it doesn't work for me as well. But So, but you gotta figure out what works for you. So slowly progressing back, if I'm doing this for 4 months to actually heal my gut the right way and to take care of myself and to have it so that way this bacteria is gone, so that way next time I need to be on antibiotics, which hopefully I won't because my gut's healthier, and about 85% of my immune system is in my gut, and so if my gut's healthier, I'm not gonna get these infections, and therefore I won't need the antibiotics, and we won't have this vicious snowball cycle, this rabbit hole that I go down. So stop using what Western medicine is telling you is the only answer. There's way more answers out there. There's a good combination. I'm a nurse. I believe in both sides. You got to take a little bit from each, bring it together, figure out what works for you, and have an absolutely blessed and amazing day. Follow me on my SIBO journey.